Good morning and welcome to the third lesson of the week for writing this week, our last unit of writing work before you come back to school. So, nasty writing for today. We already talked about this in our slow writing. What is emotive language? Can you remember from yesterday when you were writing your persuasive paragraphs about visiting a city? Emotive language makes the reader feel something when they are reading. So it could use powerful adjectives, powerful verbs or adverbs, and it often uses our senses as well, what we can see, hear, feel, taste, smell. So I've given you some adjectives here that you could use in your nasty writing today if you need some help. Otherwise you can use your own adjectives from your own imagination. And I'd like you to write 2 or 3 sentences using some of these adjectives below. Imagine you're persuading someone to visit a place you know well. It doesn't have to be a city. It could be a town, a park, the beach, your favourite restaurant, anything really. I was thinking about one of my favourite restaurants in Worthing, which is right on the seafront, Crab Shack, and it's somewhere it's somewhere to go for a bit of a treat really, especially in the summer when you can sit outside in the sunshine. And I was thinking the words I might use are sensational, because I think the food there is sensational, and also they do seafood, and I thought it was quite nice alliteration, sensational seafood. And I think it's unmissable. So I think if you're visiting Worthing for a holiday or for a weekend or something, you definitely need to try and go there. So I'm going to start my sentence today, rather than just saying go to Crab Shack, it's sensational. I was going to use an I saw a wubbub, a subordinating clause at the start. So while you're in Worthing, what do I need? What punctuation do I need there? While you're in Worthing, you must, nice modal verb, quite strong, rather than you could, or you can, or you might, you must. It's a really strong recommendation. I need a comma, don't I? While you're in Worthing, you must, what shall I say? You must try the sensational seafood . I love seafood. At Crab Shack. Make sure I use my capital letters because it's a name. And then I'm going to use a bit of parenthesis at the end with a dash. It's unmissable. There we go. There's one of my sentences already done. Fantastic. So pause the video if you want to have a go at the nasty writing task first today. And then this is the main writing task for today. So we're actually going to start writing, or we are going to write our persuasive leaflet today, encouraging a child who's thinking of changing school or moving up to junior school to come to Chesswood. Now, you might be thinking, write the whole thing today, but really, if you think about how big leaflets are, I'm going to talk more about this on Friday, but you're going to be using a piece of A4 paper, so that sort of size. You don't have lots and lots of space to write. You're going to have some space for photographs and things as well, aren't you, and subheadings and so on. So really, you're going to be writing 4 quite short paragraphs, so it should be quite doable in a day. And then Thursday, you'll have some time to edit your writing. So you could start your writing today, couldn't you? Finish it tomorrow and edit it. And then Friday, we're going to give you some time to publish it. So it doesn't really matter. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is writing, editing, publishing. But it doesn't really matter how you organise your time over those days. You might be writing over 2 days and then edit and publish on the Friday. Do you see what I mean? So it's up to you how you arrange it, how you organise it. So you're going to have 4 short paragraphs, 1 for each heading. So don't forget to use the notes you made on your plan on Monday. And there is also a very useful mat on the daily learning page today, which is called a Persuasive Language Help Mat, and it has lots of those sentence starters and things we've been using in nasty writing. You might also, once you've written your 4 short paragraphs, you might want to have a couple of sentences, just like 2 sentences, to introduce your leaflet. So you might have something like, welcome to Chesswood, and then a couple of sentences to welcome the person reading the leaflet to Chesswood School. And you might have a couple of sentences that you might be thinking are on the back of your leaflet to finish it off, but you don't have to do that. You can just stick to the 4 paragraphs. Keep your writing style friendly and informal, because you're aiming your leaflet at children coming to the school, but it still needs to be professional, your leaflet, and suitable for the school to give out to children. So you might want to have something in it that's funny or entertaining, or that will be interesting for a 7-year-old child, but you still need to keep it sensible, don't you? And suitable to go onto a school leaflet. So, I haven't got my plan here in front of me, but you should have yours, or your notes that you've made in your exercise book. These are the 4 headings, just to remind me. Here's my success criteria from the daily learning page today, and here's my persuasive language help mat. So it's got how to start sentences with an imperative, some rhetorical questions, some nice emotive adjectives, and something about using the power of 3, which we're going to be talking about in our nasty writing more tomorrow. But you can't really see it because it's very small on the board here. But it's just showing you, it's giving you some sort of basic sentence structures for using the power of 3 in your writing. And then here's your success criteria. So I'm going to show you how I might start my paragraph about subjects and topics, because that's what I showed you in my planning lesson on Monday. And for starters, I might change my heading, because subjects and topics, a bit boring, isn't it? Now, I could do that straight away. If I'm finding it hard to think of something, I could do my writing first, and then come back and make a more interesting heading. So, as a more interesting heading, I'm not going to write these all up here actually, because I'll run out of space. But as a more interesting heading, I could have a rhetorical question. I could have, what will you learn? Question mark. Or I could have, thinking about what you learn in year 3 and what you learn in year 6, I could have from Stone Age hunters to child evacuees. That's in World War II, in year 6. From Stone Age hunters to fossils. That's something else you learn in year 6. So I could have that as my heading. Or I might have something like lanterns and, because that's something you do in year 4, Christmas lanterns or lanterns and pizzas. Maybe that's been another highlight of my time at Chesswood. Or lanterns and noodles, because those are maybe 2 of the things you think are great about the learning you've done at Chesswood. So that could be one of my headings. And if I was a child reading this leaflet, if I saw the heading subjects and topics, I might be a bit like, oh. But if I saw lanterns and pizzas, I might be like, oh, what's that about? I want to find out more about that. So first of all, think about making yourself a really exciting, interesting heading. So I might have lanterns and pizzas as mine. Miss Peels is getting a lot of emails today. And then I'm going to start my paragraph with a rhetorical question. We've done that quite a lot, haven't we, in our persuasive writing this week. Try to avoid doing have you ever wanted to, because sometimes I think we overuse that one a bit when we're writing. Have you ever wanted to find out about something? Try and use something a bit different. So try and use one of these sentence starters here if you're struggling to get started. So I'm going to start talking about the fact that often people think when they go on to junior school, all the learning is going to be really hard. All you do is English and maths. You don't have fun anymore like you do at infant school. So I'm going to address that straight away. So I'm going to say, are you worried? What else could I say? Are you concerned? I'm going to use concerned. Are you concerned that you will, I could say you'll, couldn't I? Because it's quite informal, this leaflet. Are you concerned that you'll only, oh, my writing's gone all funny. You'll only study English and maths? Are you concerned that you'll only study English and maths at junior school? This is a nice rhetorical question to get me going. Can I tell you something interesting about capital letters? Well, I think it's interesting. You might not. I only found this out a few years back when I was studying, but the only subject you need to give capital letters to is English and languages like French, Spanish, Polish, Greek. Other subjects don't have a capital letter, so that might be quite useful for you when you're doing this leaflet. Are you concerned that you'll only study English and maths at junior school? What shall I say? So shall I say what we do at Chesswood? So at Chesswood, that could be my fronted adverbial, couldn't it? At Chesswood, what else do you study? You'll have the opportunity to study loads of other exciting lessons. So I'm going to start like that. At Chesswood, I'm going to say, rather than you all again, you have the opportunity. I don't want to keep repeating the same thing. Opportunity is a good year 6 word as well, isn't it? Remember how to spell it. If I'm not sure if that's right or not, I can just get my ruler and my pencil, where is it? There it is, and underline it, and then I can check it, but not in red, I can check it when I do my editing later. At Chesswood, you'll have the opportunity to, I'm going to use this nice word actually, participate. That just means take part in. Actually, maybe I should use take part in, because this could be aimed at 7 or 8-year-old children, couldn't it? Participate, they might be thinking, what does that mean? So I'm going to say to take part in. At Chesswood, you have the opportunity to take part in loads of other lessons too. And I ought to give some examples, didn't I? How do I spell to here? As well, it means, doesn't it? So I think it needs 2 O's. You have the opportunity to take part in loads of other lessons too. And I want to tell them there are some great topics to really get your teeth into. What could I use instead of great? I'm not sure about that word. I'm going to use some alliteration, like I use sensational seafood. I'm going to use terrific topics to get stuck into. So I'm kind of introducing my paragraph here, aren't I? It's like my topic sentence. Are you concerned that you'll only study English and maths at junior school? At Chesswood, you have the opportunity to take part in loads of other lessons too, and there are some terrific topics to get stuck into. And then I might go on to give some examples. In year 6, and then I might give an example of something you do in year 3, which actually would be more appropriate, wouldn't it? If you're writing to a year 2 child, they want to know what they're going to do in year 3. They might be excited about what they're going to do when they're older, but they particularly want to know, what am I going to be doing in September though, when I come to Chesswood? So you could talk to them about what you did in year 3, and that's where I could bring in some of my own personal experiences. I could tell a funny story or something I found particularly interesting. So let's have a look. I've already used modal verbs because I used will. Have I used imperative verbs yet? No, not yet. So that's something I can go on to do later in my writing. I've already got a rhetorical question and lots of 2 fronted adverbials. So I now need to think about using some interesting adjectives and vocabulary so that my writing doesn't become too dry and boring. I've already got the word terrific there, so that's quite a good emotive adjective. Yes, and I've got some challenges at the end here as well, for those of you that really want to challenge yourself in your writing, so have a look at those. Okay, so have fun with that today. I hope you enjoy writing your 4 paragraphs for your leaflet. As I said, don't stress if you don't finish it today, because you can finish it tomorrow and do your editing in the same lesson. If you want to do a couple of sentences just to introduce your leaflet and a sentence or 2 to finish your leaflet, you know, something like, hope you've enjoyed finding out all about my school, look forward to seeing you here soon, something like that, just to end the leaflet, then that would be great too. So have fun with that today, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.